Hello everyone, welcome to Vidwan, and in this video we will talk about sorting. What is sorting? The process of arranging the elements of a list in a certain order or grouping the elements based on a certain quality is called sorting. Suppose you are given an array of elements and these elements are unsorted. If you want to arrange them in an ascending order or in a descending order, it is called sorting. In the same way, if you are given a large number of elements and you want to group them into different groups based on a certain quality, it will also come under sorting. Why sorting is important? With sorted data, searching becomes very easy. And according to your research, 25% of the computation time is used in sorting data. In most of the complex problems, sorting techniques are used. This is the significance of sorting. We will be seeing the basic sorting algorithms in the upcoming videos. We will talk about bubble sort algorithm in this video, and we will also talk about selection sort, insertion sort, cell sort, merge sort, and quick sort in future. Let's understand the bubble sort algorithm. Bubble sort is the simplest of all sorting algorithms. The time complexity of bubble sort is very high when compared to the other sorting algorithms. It compares the adjacent elements and swaps them if needed, and this is done till the entire list or array is sorted out. And this is how bubble sort algorithm works. So for every iteration, we will bring the largest element to the end of the list if you are sorting the array in ascending order. If you are sorting the array in descending order, then for every iteration, you will be bringing the smallest element in the list or an array to the end of the list or the array. Let's see how bubble sort algorithm works. Suppose you have 5 elements. You are given an array of 5 elements. The size of the array is represented by n and the size is 5. In the bubble sort algorithm, we will compare the adjacent elements. So we will compare 5 with 4, and if 5 is greater than 4, which is true, we should swap the elements. So in the place of 5, we will have 4 and 5 will be moved in the place of 4. Again, we will be comparing 5 with 3. Again, 5 is greater than 3 and this condition is true. So we will swap these two elements as well. Now we will move on to compare the next two elements. 5 will be compared with 2. As 5 is greater than 2, condition is true, we will swap these two elements. We will move on to compare 5 and 1 as well, which are the last two elements in this array. Now 5 is compared to 1. This condition is also true. So in the place of 5, we will have 1, and in the place of 1, we will have 5. So the biggest element in this array is 5, and in the first iteration, as soon as we complete the first iteration, we see that 5 is taken to the end of the list. So what happens in the second iteration? Let's see that. We will compare 4 with 3. 4 greater than 3 condition is true. So we will swap these two elements. We will move on to compare 4 and 2. 4 greater than 2 condition is true. So we will be swapping these two elements as well. We will move on to compare 4 and 1. 4 greater than 1 condition is true. So we'll swap these two elements as well. So we brought 4 to the last but 1 position. In the same way, on the third iteration, we will bring 3 to the index 2. On the fourth iteration, we will bring 2 to index 1. And in the fifth iteration, we will bring 1 to the index 0. So that's how the bubble sort algorithm works. Let's write the sample code to understand how we can implement it in C language. We will have to go through this entire array and compare all the adjacent elements. So first, we will write a for loop that runs from I is equal to 0 to 1 less than the actual size. So size is represented by n. The condition is I less than n. Every time I loop through, I'll increment the value of I. Okay, inside this for loop, I'll write another for loop where I'll be initializing the value of j to 0, and the condition should be j less than n minus 1 and j plus plus. We will be comparing the adjacent elements. So a of j, if it is greater than a of j plus 1, we need to swap the elements. So to swap the elements, I will take a temporary variable and put the value of a of j inside of it. I will be taking the value of value of j plus 1 to a of j, and I will put the temporary value in the a of j plus 1. So this is the logic for your bubble sort algorithm. Let's see if it works or not. Initially, I value is set to 0. I will be moving on to the condition check. 0 is less than 5. The condition is true. I need to execute the inner for loop. Now again, j value is becoming 0. J less than n minus 1. So j less than 4 is true. So a of j is a of 0, which is this element. And a of j plus 1 is a of 1, which is this element. Now I need to check a of j, which is 5, is greater than a of j plus 1, which is 7. So this condition is false. So there is no need of swapping the elements. Now I reach to here and I will be incrementing the value of j. Now the value of j is not 0, but it is 1. After incrementing the j value, I will again check the condition. So the condition is j less than n minus 1. N is 5, 5 minus 1 is 4. J value is 1 and it is less than 4. The condition is true. Now again, I need to compare the adjacent elements. So I will compare a of j, which is a of 1, that is 7, with a of j plus 1, which is a of 1 plus 1 is 2, a of 2 is 1. So 7 greater than 1. This condition is true. So we need to swap 7 with 1. Once we are done swapping, we need to increment the value of j. So the j value will now become 2. Again, checking the condition. 2 less than n minus 1. 5 minus 1 is 4. 2 less than 4 is true. So the condition is true. Now a of j is checked if it is greater than a of j plus 1. A of j is a of 2, which is 7. And a of j plus 1 is a of 2 plus 1, which is a of 3. And in a of 3 we have 3. 7 greater than 3 condition is true. So we need to swap those two elements as well. Again increment j. J value is 3. We will check the condition. So the condition is true. Check if a of j is greater than a of j plus 1. So a of j is a of 3, which is 7, and a of j plus 1 is a of 4, which is 10. So these two are checked. 7 greater than 10 is wrong. So there is no need of swapping the elements. So you see the largest element is taken to the end of this array. Now j plus plus, j value will now become 4. Check the condition. 4 less than 4 condition is false. So we will increment the value of I. The I value is 0 and it will now become 1. 1 less than 5 is true. Again coming to the inner for loop. Now j value will be reset to 0. Again comparing the adjacent elements. So this is how the bubble sort algorithm works. We will keep on interchanging the elements till the array is sorted. Let's see how to implement the bubble sort algorithm. I'll start by including the header file. I need a main method, so I'm creating a main method, and inside this main method I would like to initialize the array. The size of the array is 4. I only have 4 elements. I want to sort this array. So before we go for writing another function, I will be returning 0 as my return type is an integer. Let's define another method. So this method is called bubble sort. So here I will be taking the entire array and the size of the array as well. So after declaring the function, let's implement it. I will write a for loop where I will be running the value of I from I to I less than the size. And every time I loop through, I will increment the value of I. I need an inner for loop as well. For int j is equal to 0, j less than size, minus 1, and j plus plus. And in here, I will compare the adjacent elements. So if a of j is greater than a of j plus 1, I need to swap these two elements. So create a temporary variable and put the value of a of j inside of it. And in the place of a of j, let's put the a of j plus 1 value. And in the place of a of j plus 1, let's keep the temporary value. So this is how we do the swapping normally. So once we come out of this outer for loop, we should have our array sorted. So for that, let's write another for loop where the I value will be running from I to I less than the size of the array and I plus plus. Every time I loop through, we will be printing the value present in that particular index. So the values are all integers. So I'll use modulus d as my format specifier and give a space next to it. And finally, I'll go for a of I. When you come to the end of the function, don't forget to return an integer, any integer. You can also return 78. That's up to you. Now I think I can run this program, but before running this program, we need to call the bubble sort algorithm and pass on this array along with the size of the array. Okay, instead of 4, I can just send size. So there are no errors. Let's build the program and execute it. You see that the array is sorted. For better performance, we can further optimize this code. The optimized code is also given in the description along with the code that is written here. Make sure you subscribe to Vidwan and never miss an update by enabling the notifications. If you like the video, share it with your friends. Thank you so much for watching the video.